Welcome back to the live stage at C2E2. I'm Katie Wilson with SYFY WIRE. I hope you guys have been following along with us using the hashtags C2E2 and hashtag It's a Fan Thing. I'm really excited because I have a very special guest with me here today. Please welcome Colin Donnell.
Hey, hey! Woo! I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for showing up.
Well, we're all excited to have you, right, guys? Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of jump right on into it because I got some questions for you.
Okay. Now I'm scared.
Don't be scared. But you know, Arrow is ending.
It is. Yeah, they've got this season, and then 10 episodes will be the last of season 8.
Have you been keeping up with it?
I've been keeping up with the people.
Yeah.
But you know, I catch the shows every once in a while, and it's been awesome to see, especially since Beth Schwartz took over as showrunner. I think she's done an amazing job, and I think it's the end of an era, really. And I'm sad to see it go, but I think they're gonna end it with a bang like they always do.
So if you could bring Tommy back in any way, I mean like zombie, anything you want, how would you spin it?
Let's see, so far he's come back as a hallucination, a ghost, somebody impersonating him who is impersonating the Arrow, an alternate universe Prometheus, which he died again. And then, I don't know, what else is there left to bring him back?
There's so many things.
He could be a long-lost twin brother.
Yes.
I like this. You know what? We're gonna go with that one.
Long lost twin brother, I love it.
Yeah.
Has there been a storyline after your character, you know, spoiler, has left?
Super spoilers over here.
Super spoiler. Has there been a storyline that you heard about or saw and you were just like, oh man, I wish I could've been there?
You know, I think during season 5 when Prometheus was hanging around, and played by Josh Segarra, who is a good friend and just one of the biggest badasses there is. There was a lot of fan theories running around that Prometheus was actually Tommy, and that was one I was kind of like, oh, dang it, missed it, but not really. I mean, it was never me in the first place, so.
Yeah, so say you could join any show in the Arrowverse.
I'd be back on Arrow again.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's nothing against the other shows. I think they're amazing, but yeah, I'd want to be back on Arrow. I'd want to be back with Steven. I'd want to be hanging out with everybody there.
I think Tommy would be really awesome on the new Batwoman.
Okay, well then you got me there.
Who thinks that would be awesome? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm down for it. You know, they were actually shooting here in Chicago, and my new show, Chicago Med, also shoots here. Yeah,
yes.
Thanks, guys. I guess it's not so new anymore. We're ending our 4th season now. We're going into our 5th next year. Thank you for watching. But they came to shoot the big crossover of the Arrowverse this year, and which introduced Batwoman to the world, and I got to go see all of them. It was awesome. How cool was the Batwoman introduction, by the way?
Really cool. And speaking of Chicago Med, you've actually jumped from all the Chicago shows, which is awesome, but are there any challenges as an actor, you know, doing the show hopping?
You know, they do it in such a smart way that it makes it very easy for us. I think the biggest issue is always scheduling, but that's not on us. And it's cool because it really reminds me, there's a lot of similarities between the Chicago universe and what's going on over on the CW with Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl and everything. There's such a correlation between the fandoms too. I think everybody who has gotten into this universe concept of Arrow is so ready to jump on board with the reality-based universe that the Chicago shows bring, and it's really fun, and it's a great thing to be a part of.
So what would happen if we mashed them up and say superheroes just dropped on into the hospital? How do you think your colleagues would handle that?
I think Dr. Rhodes would probably be the only person who wasn't surprised. He'd be like, no, I get that. That's the Arrow, guys. Don't you guys know? And that's Supergirl over there. And oh, by the way, the Flash is going to run back and forth and take care of people and like bring patients in really quick.
I love that. I
don't
love
know, why
that.
not?
I want to see that mashup now, though.
So do I, actually. Let's
think
get
that'd be
on
great.
it. Somebody write the fanfic. Do it now.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
Oh, it's already out there?
That's not surprising.
You guys are way ahead of us, aren't you? Awesome.
So is there anyone in any of the Chicago shows that you haven't had the opportunity to work with yet that you'd love to?
You know, really few and far between. I think I've worked with the majority of the people on all the other shows. And it is awesome. I mean, like, you've got such great people not only on our show. I mean, you have Oliver Platt and S.E. Pathan Merkerson and, you know, all of us, really. I love working with all of our cast. And then I get to go over and play with Jesse Spencer or Jesse Sofer on PD or Taylor Kinney, and like, those dudes are awesome. And then Marina Squarciati over on PD, and it's just it's a really unique experience to be a part of one show and then get to go down the block to another show's set and play with your friends, because we really are a close-knit family here.
So if you could star in the next Chicago X show, what would it be?
Really, I want it to be like Chicago Doctors Without Borders,
Ooh.
where Dr. Rhodes is stationed on a beach in
You
a
get to
really
film in New
warm
Zealand or
climate.
Hawaii, somewhere
Yeah, exactly.
nice. That'd be a really good one, actually.
Chicago Hawaii 5-0 Doctor.
I love it. Not like Chicago in space or something too crazy.
I mean, that'd be kind of fun, but like, I'm just like, this was a really bad winter here. It's not that I'm complaining, but like, it was really cold.
So a warm beach somewhere sounds awesome.
For at least a little bit, like half a season maybe.
So as an actor, I always love learning about audition processes and what your audition process has been like for Arrow and for Chicago Med.
You know, they were two unique circumstances, actually. I was doing a Broadway show at the time that I got Arrow, the Arrow pilot, and it was called Anything Goes back in 2011. And I sent in a tape from New York, and they cast me from that tape.
Wow.
And which is not that common of an occurrence, and especially for somebody who hasn't done a lot of TV, which I had not done at the time. And then, so that's how that came about. And then for Chicago Med, I actually did a pilot for NBC with Brian T. That did not end up getting picked up to series. And so from that, I learned that Dick Wolf and the whole company were actually thinking about me for a role on their new medical drama that was going to be a part of the Chicago series. And I met with Dick in New York, and we talked about it, and he made very clear that I was still being, that it was under debate whether or not I was going to get the role. It wasn't like he was like, no, you got it. It was like, if this happens, would you enjoy Chicago? And it was wonderful, and you know, I think I made a decent impression because I ended up here. But so it was, I've never experienced anything like that. I don't think that I ever will again. But it was really cool, and I'm very happy that they brought me.
And how is it playing a doctor? I mean, I feel like for a lot of actors, it can be a bit of a learning curve with all the stuff you need to learn about the medical field.
Yeah, I think that there was a huge curve in season 1 where we were trying to, because medical dramas are basically, we're trying to get everything as accurate as we possibly can while still doing the sleight of hand and, you know, the fake stuff that has to happen for TV. Like all those open heart surgeries that Dr. Rhodes does, yeah, those take like 10 hours or more, but we do it in 28 minutes.
What's your character prep like?
Read scripts, say words. No.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah,
It really
no,
is.
I'm a pretty, I don't know that I have a process. I have a lot of thoughts about things, but I'm not one to usually spend a lot of time discussing, which is very different for a lot of people. And it doesn't mean that I'm not thinking all the things that other people are saying out loud, but I just like to get on my feet and do it. And I think part of that comes from being in a theater background. It's funny because in TV you have zero time to rehearse anything, and in theater you have all the time in the world to rehearse everything. So if I don't get all that time, then I don't want any of the time. I'm just going to make a decision and go.
So if you could adapt one TV show or movie into either a stage musical or play that you could star in,
Oh my gosh, this
What would
is
you
a
pick?
tough question. Oh my God, Ellie. So they are adapting a movie into a musical coming up. It's in the works. You guys know the movie Almost Famous?
oh yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Crowe, awesome. So they're making a musical of it. And I think that would be wonderful.
That's a good
So
one.
yeah, it's already happening, so it kind of sidestepped the question there, sorry.
That's all right. So how'd you kind of first get into acting, and what were some of your inspirations growing up?
I literally broke my ankle playing football. And my mom, it was such a high school musical story. I was
Are you the Troy Bolton of this story?
100%. So I broke my ankle playing football. My mom suggested I get out of the house. I could juggle. I had the ability to juggle. So I auditioned for my school's musical, which was Barnum. And that's literally how it all came about. The choir teacher at the time, her name was Karen Flasher. She's since passed away. But she said, do you sing? And I said, no. She said, can you sing Happy Birthday for me? She said, yeah, you sing. You're gonna come in choir, you're gonna do a thing. And that's literally how a whole career in musical theater was born.
Wow. So what's the go-to song to sing in like the shower or
Happy birthday.
still?
It doesn't matter if it's happy birthday. You know what? Funny story. I live in New York. My wife Patty Murin, who I know a lot of you are fans of as well. She's incredible. We live in New York, and I was singing in my shower. I was gonna sing Grease for a concert or something like that, and it was a true New York moment. I'm literally like, Sandy, and I hear somebody complete the phrase in the background. They're like, I was like, well, this is weird. So I don't sing in the shower a lot anymore.
I mean, yeah, that'd be a little weird, I think, hearing that, so.
Yeah, thin walls in New York.
All right, so you've done stage, you've done a lot of different genres. Is there one that you haven't done yet, maybe in a TV show that you'd love to tackle?
I would love to do some action. Oh, you know what? I would love to do a comedy, a true comedy. I've played comedic-ish characters, but for some reason I've played a lot of very brooding characters. I think I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, but apparently the TV people don't. Something dark about me, I guess. My wife always says that. But I would love to do a sitcom or, you know, a single camera, because I've had a lot of fun on stage playing really goofy, off-the-wall characters, and I think it'd be fun to do it on screen.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that, you know, at least your theater career at a young age kind of came out of nowhere, but did you have any like movies or TV shows that inspired you growing up? Were you always into movies and stuff?
Yeah, you know, people ask you your favorite movie, and it trips off my tongue like the easiest thing in the world. Princess Bride.
Yes!
Yeah.
See, I was gonna
you guys
say-
agree, don't you?
I was gonna say Princess Bride, like a role in Princess Bride would be so
Look,
awesome for you.
Patty and I have been petitioning, and if you guys want to get on board with this, please do. Hashtag Princess Bride the musical starring Patty Murin and Colin Donnell. I know it's super long, but it'll work, I promise.
Get on your phones right now.
No, it's and like do it now, because I think I'm getting a little too old to play Wesley. So, and Patty will forever be a buttercup because she is like somehow manages to stay so young, but I'm getting older.
All right, so now that Arrow's ending, do you think we'll see any of your former co-stars come on over to Chicago Med?
I would love that.
Who in particular would you love to see?
It'd be great to get Steven over there. I mean, come on, like, but any of them, I think, you know, just to have any of those guys come and play in my world for a little bit would be just a lovely treat.
Yeah, I feel like we love to ask people here at SYFY, what is something that you really geek out about, besides Princess Bride? Which is
Could you tell?
Fair, very fair.
You know, I love playing video games, and now I wouldn't classify myself as a gamer per se because I think I'm not very good at them. I just love to play them. So I just finished Red Dead Redemption. So I don't remember. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I don't remember about 3 weeks of my life because I think it was just locked into a TV.
Wow.
But I loved it, and I've been looking forward to that game for so long. I also went back and replayed The Last of Us in anticipation for the next one. When Uncharted 4 came out, I bought the remastered editions for the first three and played them straight through. I think I literally sat down for about 5 days and played all of them. I don't sleep a lot.
You just stay up at night finishing Red Dead
Next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Cool, I don't have to be at work in half an hour.
Why not just ask, or do you play on console?
I do play on console. I play on PS4, but the great thing that I've discovered about having a Switch is that I keep a dock in my trailer now.
I was gonna say.
So I play at home. I started playing the new Super Mario Brothers, which is incredible, especially if you grew up playing those games. Like, it's such an awesome throwback. And I mean, Odyssey is great, and the new Zelda is incredible, but like being able to play the side-scrolling Super Mario Brothers that you fell in love with, that introduced you, is just...
What was your first console growing up?
You guys remember Blockbusters? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think at some point we had an Atari maybe, or we borrowed a friend's Atari, but my brothers, I've got 2 older brothers, and we would rent every Christmas and for birthdays, our parents would go to Blockbuster and rent a Sega Genesis for us. And so like we would have it for 2 or 3 days, and I would probably kick and scream and cry when they took it back, but like I tried not to be such a brat. It was such a cool treat for us.
I remember renting video games from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It was always so sad when you were not done with the video game and your mom was like, sorry, gotta
You're trying to
bring it
like
back.
blast through Sonic the Hedgehog as like quick as you can, and you realize you're never gonna finish it, and you're like, I'm so sorry.
Yep, exactly. All right, I think we should play some Roll for Question.
Yes!
You like games. Let's see if you can roll a nat 20.
I'm a little scared. 8.
8, all right.
That was a lame roll, wasn't it?
I mean,
I was like, and stop.
If that was a will save, yeah. All right, so where would you build your secret base? A cave full of bats, weird fortress of crystals, and high-rise building. A high-rise building in Manhattan are already taken. Okay, so you can't do a cave or a fortress full of crystals or a high-rise building. Where is your secret base?
Ooh. A deserted island.
Yeah?
Yeah, but like in the Caribbean, so you've got good access to all over the world, I think. You can hop from the Caribbean island to New York to wherever. I mean, you gotta lay over somewhere, but like that's fine. Or like just go to Atlanta. Atlanta flies everywhere, right? So yes. So a deserted island in the Caribbean Ocean.
Alone? Just deserted?
I don't know, I'm bringing Patty with me, but like, I'm gonna build some buildings there eventually, right?
What's your base gonna have there?
Oh, thatch roof huts, open air seating, probably an infinity pool at some point. You know, a nice like hot tub on the side.
And video games.
Yeah, and video games.
Yeah.
Giant
Wi-Fi.
screens. I mean, no lair would be complete, I think, without giant screens, like 2 or 3 of them in a row, so you can, yeah.
Dexter's Lab style.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Oh, yeah, that's on me, isn't it? 20.
No way! That
I got
is
it.
like our third nat 20 of the day.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. let's say it's Final Jeopardy and the scores are all tied. What are you hoping the category is?
Musical theater trivia.
Yes!
I think that's the only thing I'm qualified to actually talk about. But like, musical theater trivia that Colin Donnell has performed in.
Just you as the category?
Yeah, so here's a funny thing about me. I have a terrible memory. Very, very good short-term memory. Terrible memory for anything longer than like a week. I try to think of songs that I've sung in my earlier career, and I've got no clue. But like, you give me a song to sing for a concert that morning, I will nail it that night. So, yeah, it has to be a very specific Jeopardy question. I've been trying to do New York Times crossword puzzles every night to try to like get things back, but yeah. It's not boding well for older age.
Do you have a favorite musical of all time?
This is gonna sound cliche, but the one that has, well, Frozen. I really did love.
Yeah. It's good. It's so good.
Hamilton blew my mind, of
Yes.
course. Lynn is a friend of mine, and seeing that and sitting down and like, it was so cool because you were actually witnessing an art form evolving in front of your eyes. Anything Goes is a favorite of mine, and you know, I'm a classic musical theater fan, so like the West Side Stories, all the Rodgers and Hammersteins, you know, The King and I, Oklahoma. I could literally go on. I'm gonna bore the heck out of you guys. I'm sorry.
There's so many. I love musical theater, so
Yes.
Grease was my first show that I ever did.
Yes.
Yep. All right, go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah. It's all right.
If you get another nat 20.
10.
All right. 10. If I offered you one infinity gem, which would you pick? Power, time, space, soul, mind, or reality? And why? It's a tough one.
Time.
That's the best answer.
Yeah.
Why?
There's moments in my life that I'd want to live over and over again. And I don't like the idea of like speeding through time, but like having the ability to go back and relive something again sounds very, I don't know, that make me happy.
Would you try to visit any other eras?
Yeah. Yeah. But like only the good ones. Like I don't want to.
Like what?
I love like I want to visit the Roaring '20s, but like,
Ooh.
well, maybe Prohibition era. I'd love to like see what was going on in those back alley speakeasies and things like that. Or like, I was fascinated always with the Revolutionary War. Not that I want to go to like the actual war,
Yeah.
but that time. But there's a reason why things evolved, so maybe not. I don't know.
I know, every time I think about it, I'm like, ooh, I want to go back and see like what medieval times were like. And I was like,
You're like, are you a wench or are you
Yeah.
a knight? Or like, I don't think things would turn out well for me back then.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fragile.
it'd be like the Oregon Trail, died of dysentery real fast.
Your head has been chopped off.
Yeah. You'd say something wrong eventually, right?
I'd end up in the stockades
Yeah.
in like a heartbeat, or
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'd be dead.
Go
All right,
ahead.
rolling. Let's get me out of here. 17, 12, no. 17.
17.
Need glasses now, apparently.
Do ghosts exist? Have you ever seen one?
Straight into the point.
That's what it says.
You know what? I believe, yes. I was in Colonial Williamsburg on a road trip that Patty and I were taking, and we stayed in one of the like original buildings that you can be there. And we decided to go and take the ghost tour that night, and they pointed at our our place, and we're like, "There's a ghost in there." It was like twin girls who had lived there and haunted the rooms that we were in. And we were staying in this room. For some reason, they didn't have a queen or a king-size bed. They had 2 twin beds.
No.
So I shit you not. And am I allowed to curse? I'm sorry.
You did.
Not
You're
really.
fine.
I
no
kid
one
you
came
not.
out and tackled you.
We went to bed that night. Patty didn't sleep a wink, and we heard weird noises all night long. And there was like fireplace weird stuff that was happening. I was kind of having fun with it, especially when she was still asleep when I woke up in the morning. So I kind of shook her bed a little bit.
Oh, that's so mean.
She was not happy with me.
I don't think anyone would be.
No.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Ooh. Why'd you stay there?
Well, it's Colonial Williamsburg. That's kind of what you do. You like stay in the old places, and you drink mead and play gambles? No. Anyway, you play games at night and you drink stuff.
All right, so before we go,
Yes.
is there anything you can tease us for any upcoming episodes? Chicago Med.
Of Chicago Med. There's big changes ahead for Connor, especially in his personal life. And I think that a lot of it is going to bleed over into his professional life. So it's going to be a wild and bumpy ride towards the end of the season. And I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. I haven't seen that script yet, but it's going to be very, very interesting.
Wow, well, we're all really excited to see it. Guys, please give it up for Colin one more time. Thank you so much for joining us here, and thank you guys at home for watching along as well. SYFY WIRE is the place that you can get all of your new nerdy news, especially from C2E2, and you can follow along with us using the hashtag C2E2 and hashtag It's a Fan Thing. Stick around because up next, up next we have Freaks and Geeks. We have John Francis Daly and Martin Starr joining us, so stick around, guys.